Welcome to Sliver and Bite TV. I have been back from Vietnam now for approximately 5-6 months, and I'm still kicking myself because I have attempted to make the Vietnamese Bánh Mì roll from scratch, because I found that the big difference between having it here in Australia versus on the streets of Ho Chi Minh was the freshness. It was the freshness of not only the ingredients, but more importantly, the mì, the bun, because it is just light and fluffy on the inside and so crispy on the outside. It's, unless you've been there, and I know many of my viewers would have been there, it is a phenomenal roll. I couldn't get enough of it. People I were traveling with were not another banh mi. So today I'm going to cook it for you so you can bring the most authentic version to your kitchen and to your friends and family. And as you can see behind me, I even brought one of my cilantro, here in Australia, coriander, pots inside, because you can't get any fresher than that when it comes to the produce going into it. And I've actually did some prep yesterday with my vegetables and went to the shops today and got some fresh produce to put into it. I even got a banh mi to see what it's like from this greengrocer. So this is what I'm trying to replicate. It is such an amazing breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Trust me, they even made a breakfast banh mi. Wow. Let's get into it. Let's start cooking. In a mixing bowl, we're going in with our bread flour. We use a bread flour because we need a higher protein. We're going in with our yeast. We're going in with our sugar, salt. We're going in with a pinch or two of vitamin C. Water that is at 41, but no more than 45 degrees Celsius. Butter. And 1 room temperature egg. And then into the mixer with the dough attachment. Just on low to begin with. I've always found it so difficult to film inside the drum of a mixer. But this is what it looks like once it's been roughly 1 minute mixing. And we can start increasing the speed now because we're confident it's not going to fly out of the mixer. Now you want to total mixing time 10 minutes. You just want to make sure you check it at the 6-minute mark just to double check the consistency. This is approximately 4 minutes now, so I will turn this up to a relatively high speed, just so that it's able to fling the dough ball off of the hook and it can actually mix the dough. Otherwise, it'll just sit there and spin. In some instances, you may need to hold the mixer so it doesn't fly off the bench. As you can see, it's actually pulled it away from the bottom. It is so tempting to stop and check it before the 6-minute mark, but just be patient, wait until the 6-minute mark, and then we can have a look at it. Just double check. It's not, you can see that it's dragging a little there. So this is the 6-minute mark after all. I might just remove this off of the hook, and then we're back on for another 3 or so minutes. But at this stage, we're on the money. See what happens if you have a domestic mixer and you're doing bread. Okay. That has been 10 minutes. We're going to a little bit of vegetable oil on our hands over a bowl, since we're going to be oiling that bowl a little later as well. We're taking off the dough. Look at that. That's awesome. So what we're going to do, make sure we get all of the dough from here. We're going to make this into a big dumpling. Make sure we're pinching the bottom of it here. Bit more vegetable oil in the bottom. And with that, you can put a little on top as well. And then that is in. Covering that, and I'm putting it in the oven. Since I had it on earlier, there's a little residual heat in there. I am going to leave it slightly ajar since it is sitting at 57 degrees Celsius. You don't want to put your dough in an area where it is too hot because it will kill the yeast. We are going to rise this until it at least doubles in size. And it all depends on the temperature of your house, your kitchen, where you leave it, because here in Perth, Western Australia, we're winter at the moment, so it is cold. Okay, so this has been in for 30 minutes, and I must say it looks pretty good. Definitely doubled in size. I am going to turn the oven on. That was sitting at 41 degrees, which is the perfect environment. So happy with that. Going to turn it on to bring some more heat into it, because we're going to cut the dough into the segments, and then we will roll them out, put them into the baguette trays, and then further prove them. However, before we cut up our dough, we need to prepare our area, putting a little bit of oil onto the bench with some paper towel. Going to oil that down. Same with my cutters and dough scrapers. And then turn our attention to the baguette trays. Oil them down just a little bit, prevent any sticking. Then we can bring the dough over. It. This dough looks so good. Turn it out. Should come out nice and clean once it hangs a little bit. Fantastic. Love that. So let's cut this into even segments. Looks like I'm going for 8. Pull them apart. Now, to roll these, we actually do like it in a triangle here, and we're going to slap them down. Because what we want, an elongated triangle basically. Because we are going to roll from here and then push back. That will give us the signature bulge in the center out to the tapered edge. And you want to pinch the sides down. Feather this out a bit. And then one last roll. And we're good to put into the baguette tray. This will hold all of the air inside when it is doing its final rise. The way I'm doing it to get that, keep that bulge in the center, is have the pressure here and just allow it to bunch up in the center here. Now I've also boiled the kettle because we need a steamy environment to prove these banh mi. And our last one, it's actually quite a big one. And when you feather out the end here, exposes a little bit of the dough that is sticky and allows to seal the banh mi. Nice one. And I'm just going to put that at the base. Just to one side. And another important element is our spray bottle, which we need to spray these, but I will do it as I put them into the oven. And they are into the oven. Now remember, the oven is off at this stage. We've got some steam over here to create a moist environment. And like I said, I am going to spray these down and close. In for a check at the half-hour mark. They are proving fantastically. Going in for our final check. They are looking fantastic. What I'm going to do now is remove the water carefully because it's actually quite full, but it's not too hot. We're going to empty that out and prepare to spray these and put it on a much higher temperature. The banh mi has been proving in the oven in a steamy environment for 1 hour. Time to remove these, put them on the kitchen bench. And I am going to return the water bath. We are going to turn the oven on. We are going to have it on standard bake for the time being because we want to keep it a steamy environment for the first 10 minutes. Fill this with water and then let that heat up. And we are going to score these now. So you need to be careful with your razor. And as you can see in the roll that I had purchased from the greengrocer, it is 2 little slits. You don't want to go too deep because it will essentially allow it to fillet and it will be way too large. You want to keep it contained, but allow a little room for movement. Perfect. That's all you need. We are going to give them a spritz now that they have been slit. And we will also spritz in the oven when they just go in, just to promote more steam as they do their first initial 10-minute cook. Now, we want to be quick putting these in because we don't want to lose the heat. You can see that we're on 240. It sounds like the fan is on, however, that is not the actual environment inside this new oven. You'll see a bit of steam come out. So it goes in. And then one final spritz. And then close for 10 minutes. We are 1 minute away from removing the water bath, giving one final spritz, and the final spritz will cool the outside layer of the banh mi down to allow the inside to get to temperature. Then we're on for another 10 minutes at fan forced 240. They actually look done now. All that is the light bulb inside the oven. Stop. So we will turn this to standard fan forced. Keep it at 240. Wants to get there. Yes. we will remove the water bath carefully. And one last spritz. Okay, Google, set countdown timer for 10 minutes. And we are done. Remove from the oven to place on our cooling rack to cool completely before we use them. And if you listen carefully, you can actually hear them cracking. It may be a little soon for me to do a little crush test, but let's see how it goes. Oh yeah. Fantastic. I've allowed them to cool just enough in order to take them out of the baskets. These off to the side to cool, whilst I get the other ingredients ready for the banh mi. We are going to make a nice spicy mayonnaise for our banh mi, or sushi. This is a very universal sauce. So we're going in with 1 cup of a good quality mayonnaise. Kewpie is the quintessential Asian mayonnaise, yeah? So let's go in with a cup of Kewpie. And you're gonna want to make at least a cup of this because it goes with everything. Even if you're having an easy midweek meal of oven chips, perfect. Then we're going in with 3 tablespoons of sriracha. Now you can dial up and dial down the heat for this, of course. I tend to like my condiments quite hot. Now going in with some toasted sesame seed. Just a little bit because you don't want to overpower your sauce. Now for some fresh lime. And we're going in with a teaspoon. You can always taste it and readjust. Usually I would use a fine mesh sieve. However, there's no pits, which is awesome. And then we mix. I always wanted to make a spicy mayonnaise, and here it is. Great consistency. It's not too watered down. What we'll do is have a taste test of this one. I'm going to go in with a little more lime. With that's got a nice bite to the back of your throat. Just a little more acidity. Fresh banh mi. Perfect. We are going to get the rest of the ingredients ready, starting with the jalur, which is a meat terrine product that is pressed in banana leaves. You can get this from any great Asian greengrocer. We've got several here in Perth, Western Australia, so I would be extremely surprised if you were unable to find it in your city. And we are going to cut this into thin matchsticks just to match our vegetables. And I'm going to do it roughly the same thickness. You can put it in these crescents, which I might also just leave a few off to the side to add. And I'm going to put that into the fridge to keep cool, ready to use when I need it. Ready for the slicing of the cucumber. Ready to use my mandolin. So I'd rather not cut my fingers. And a medium cut. That can go into the bowl. Now, jalapeno. Also medium cut, free and clear. And ordinarily I would put some coriander, cilantro just here, ready to add, but we're just going to take it fresh from the bush. This is great for gatherings because you can do all of this in advance and then lay it all out and they can make their own banh mi. Now for my pre-prepared pickled radish and carrot. Oh, it smells amazing. I chose to pickle them in separate jars so that the orange didn't bleed into the daikon, which is Chinese radish. So I will mix it in a bowl now. This is such an important element to the banh mi because it's got texture and the acidity that you need. I also have my pate, which is out. I am letting that come to closer to room temperature because it's quite firm at the moment. Now let's have a look at our fresh homemade banh mi. Let's have a look at the inside and the outside of this fresh homemade beauty. We'll do a crunch test. Oh yes, oh that's fantastic. And then let's have a look inside. Absolute perfection. So pleased with this. Light and airy, yet the moisture is still there, which is what you want. And if you don't want a great deal of bread and you want more filling, you can actually hollow out the inside because then you've got more room for your filling. We have everything prepared And now we can assemble our banh mi. So you're going to want to cut 3/4 of the way through. Still love the fact that it is still crispy. And this has been on the bench for roughly an hour, so we've done extremely well creating the meat today. Brilliant. Let's open it up, make sure we can get in there. First up, we are going in with the spicy mayo. We're going to do that on one side. And then we're going in with some pate on the other side. Now, it is completely up to you how you assemble your banh mi. From the north to the mid and the south of Vietnam, they actually do it quite differently. Up in the north, it's a relatively plain banh mi. And down in the south, where I was in Ho Chi Minh, they had all of the condiments and fillings. Let's go in with some fresh vegetables now. Bit of depth of flavour. A few bites in, put some jalapeno. We're going to go in with some of the pickled vegetables. In with the jalua. What I'll do is I'm going to do the crescent one in this one, and then we can have a look at the cross section of the second one with the battens. We're going in with some fresh coriander straight from the bush, and we're going in stems and all. As I pick it, it is emitting such an amazing fragrance. It is absolutely stunning. I'm then going to splash a bit of Maggi seasoning. They keep on saying, every video that I did research on, it said that this is an amazing umami flavor to add. And now, some pork floss. Should be able to find pork floss relatively everywhere. I even got this pork floss from Costco. Brilliant. So, sandwich one done. Looking forward to the cross section of this. And I feel the best way to serve these is in a humble paper bag. And this is just one style of banh mi. You can put any type of meat in. There is a chicken terrine that you can do. All available at the Asian grocery store. Thank you for joining me today for banh mi. Right from the very beginning, we made the banh mi roll, and assembled our sandwich. The only thing now is to try it. Let's have a look at the cross section. Ordinarily, you wouldn't do this. You would simply peel back the paper and start eating. That is fantastic. The amount of bread to filling ratio is perfect because it's light and fluffy, so it's made way for the filling. Let's give it a try. Taking a bit of time to appreciate each of the layers. They're right about that Maggi seasoning. Really gives it the kick it needs. Just got some of the spicy mayo. Oh, even better after you swallow. That's fantastic. I'm so proud to bring you this recipe for the meme because these rolls, they're a dead ringer. They are fantastic. I'm so pleased I can make this in my own home and be transported. I'm going to try the banh mi that I got this morning from the greengrocer, and we'll see how they both go comparatively. It's a little bit different in its assembly. It's actually some parsley in there, continental parsley, which is great. I find, like the ones in Vietnam as well, there's actually more of the coriander, which is a massive deal for me because I love coriander. You can see the Maggi sauce that they've splashed in, and they've put the mayonnaise and the pate on one side. Interesting. Regardless, I feel that even mine, a little improvement, more filling, basically. Go from theirs, go to mine now. I have to say, they are both very, very similar. If the greengrocer and the Vietnamese nationals can make a refrigerated version taste this good, I'm happy that mine even comes close to it. What are you waiting for? Get in the kitchen, start prepping, and make yourself a banh mi.
And I know it's wrong to be with you.